All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Gonna see if for its local search is city search, see if it's got BSS. And yeah, we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographers in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. If you want more info on that, check out pinned post, pinned video, home video, whatever. And this channel, this profile all the way over on the left, BSS, focusing on the highest intent people, is people searching for, boudoir photographer city or, like they want a boudoir photographer, boudoir shoot now. And they're searching this on social and on Google. Our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, is all the way on the right. That's for boudoir right now for boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand a month on boudoir Facebook ad. You have to, on ads, boudoir Facebook ads. So you have to go check out our other profiles for that. But getting back to BSS, boudoir search sameness. That's when boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. Basically, we're not being seen because we know approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. So we don't care about those 20% that do because they're going to page 10, clicking every link, getting a price quote from everyone. We care about the approximately 80% that never go past page 1. And so if we got 0 slots, well, we're invisible. They ain't never buying from us because we're on page 2. If we got 1 slot, we look the same as everyone else, so we're essentially invisible again, even though we are on page 1 of Google. There's nothing drawing them to us instead of everyone else, so they're probably going to click down through every single link, get a price quote from everyone, talk to everyone, blah, blah, blah. And 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. That means something is seriously broken. A boudoir photography business should always have a minimum of 3. So we talk about our GBC minimum of 3 here. 3 out of 10 on page 1 of Google for our local town, small town, small city, small part of the city. And we gotta shoot to get 3 out of 10, GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 at the city level as well, like Cincinnati or Miami. Because at that point, we can basically guarantee we're not disappearing. We may not be growing, but we can essentially guarantee we're not disappearing, not declining. And the 2 deeper root causes of actually having 0 1 slots on page 1 of Google are MS, market saturation, which basically everyone knows about, and the big killer, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, that's when more and more boudoir photographers entering the market every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. It seems like whenever anyone gets a new iPhone, they are throwing up their Google My Business profile, say they offer boudoir photo shoots now, or anytime anyone gets a new camera, people are posting in the mom group saying, yeah, I do boudoir shoots now. And they're getting ranked, the stuff, their websites, their Facebook profiles, it's all getting ranked. Page 1 of Google kind of shuffling everyone around, pushing long-standing people who were there off page 1. But here comes the real killer, the false belief of page 1 inequality. So from what I've seen, the false belief of page 1 inequality or page 1 equality has been the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses. It's basically believing that page 1, the false belief of page 1 equality is when we believe, it's normal to have either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. Maybe we're like, oh yeah, I used to have 1 link on page 1, but a lot more boudoir photographers came in, and yeah, I got kicked off. I'm on page 2 now, but that's fine. That's normal. No, that is not normal. The norm is to have 3 or more links on page 1 of Google. This is the norm for the boudoir photographers that eventually become and want to become and can eventually become the #1 boudoir photographers in their city. So it's accepted as normal, but it means something's fundamentally broken because we're believing, oh yeah, that's simply how it is. No, it's not. I've gotten to 9 out of 10 links on page 1 in 10 days. I went from 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 in 10 days. More on that in a little bit. Now, boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, so having 0 or 1 links on page 1 of Google, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Basically, if we disappear off page 1 of Google, or if we're on page 1 with only 1 link, or essentially invisible as well, then we've essentially been disappeared as a boudoir photographer, which means our boudoir photography business will disappear soon enough after that. So we're building our universe. We can see declining boudoir photographer, or a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and page 1 equality, the false belief of page 1 equality. So do we have a solution? Yes, we do. BSS is treated with social search saturation, our S-cubed methodology. We've been developing, testing the last 7 months, bringing it to market now. And this is literally the only thing that I've ever seen that is able to successfully fight against market saturation. So imagine we got 1 million boudoir photographers each with a website, ranking for boudoir, in Cincinnati, whatever. And we're in Cincinnati as well. If we can take S-cubed methodology to the max, and we can probably do it if we got enough time, take it to the max, and we rank for, the first 300 search results on Google. That's the first 30 pages, 10 pages, 10 organic slots per page, which only comes as a result of us ranking for the first 30 pages across Facebook search, Instagram search, YouTube search, and TikTok search. And basically, anyone, anywhere in Cincinnati searches for, boudoir photographer Cincinnati, we're essentially the only one they can find. And even if there's a million boudoir photographers, if we got all the first page links, our business will probably be growing every day, every week, every month, every year, and all those other ones will eventually disappear. Well, I mean, we've already disappeared them with all of our content, but then eventually go out of business. And so, again, this is the only thing I've ever seen that can successfully fight back against market saturation. That can happen in under a month. Obviously, brand building would be the other thing, but that takes years. Now, once you're with S-cubed methodology, so instead of having 0 or 1 slots on page 1, we have more than that. We now have page 1 visibility, so we look different. We prefer to get to the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 links on page 1, because basically everyone else will have 1. And we'll actually really look different because they'll see our name. Scrolling down, they'll see our name literally 3 times. And probably by the 3rd time, they'll click on us, be like, all right, these guys seem different. Google keeps recommending them. There must be some reason why. Now, the other bonus is every new link we get on page 1 is we're kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page 1, effectively making them invisible to the approximately 80% of Google searchers who never go past page 1. Literally, they're page 1 or bust. These are the people that we're focusing on, getting in front of. So we got page 1 visibility, and page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, so people are actually seeing us because we show up way more on page 1 of Google. Like, we're actually entering their brain, entering their eyeballs, entering their brain. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So we got disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It's caused by market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Cool, we will attack that, solve that with our S-cubed methodology. Achieve page 1 visibility and become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. So now my results, actually use an S-cubed methodology on myself. This is for the term BLCS boudoir. And okay, we got an AI overview. We got the Google 3 map pack. Now we'll hit the organic results. So you got organic slot 1, me. And we got slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, slot 6, slot 7, Boudoir FB ad doctor, slot 8. And we got slot 10 way down there at the bottom. Slot 9 is someone else. But in 10 days, I was able to completely take this over. So if people are searching this, literally 10 days, I was at 0 out of 10. I got to 9 out of 10 for this term BLCS Boudoir. And so if people are searching BLCS Boudoir, who are they coming to? They literally have, what they got? They got, at organic search, they got two options, me or the person in number 9, way down at the bottom. So they're probably going to be coming to me. And so now into the main event here. And check this Boudoir photography business. I'm going to see, check its local search, check its city search, see if got BSS, yes or no. So let's see. Going to Williamstown and Defiance, Ohio. All right, Williamstown. Yeah, nice. All right, get rid of these. All right, let's see what we got. See what we got. Okay, I'm not seeing us here yet. All right, it looks like we're at 0 out of 10 slots. Page 1 Google for local search. All right, now we're gonna check city search. Let's see, go down to organic. All right, here we go. All right, so city search, we got 1. We got 2. We got 3. We got 4. We got 5. We got 6. All right, I wonder if I switch these searches up. I wonder if Defiance is the local and the other one's the city search. But all right, so all right, we got 6 out of 10 for this one. So that's insanely good. So let's go. So local search, Williamstown, Ohio. That one must be the city search then. We do have BSS. We got 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. We're not hitting the GBC recommend minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. But for the local search, Defiance, Ohio, we are hitting. We do not have BSS. We got 6 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. We're definitely meeting the GBC universe recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. So insanely good. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer and you want to, so you've done the local searches, you've done your city search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city. You see, and you got 0 slots, page 1 on Google, either one or both of them, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google for one or both of them. And you've accepted the belief, the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. And you understand now that we can actually take as many page 1 slots on Google search as we want. And you see an S-cube methodology is the only way, the only path for you to get you there. And you've been waiting for something like S-cube methodology for a while. And you're liking the initial benefits, more slots, page 1 on Google. And you really like kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1 on Google, making them invisible to approximately 80% of Google searches. You really like that one. Those initial benefits, sure. You understand the market saturation? Yeah. New gear, new peeps, boudoir photographers entering all the time, getting more and more difficult over all the time. And you're seeing that you're actually looking ahead and you're seeing AI taking more and more people's jobs. And the last time that happened with COVID, people losing jobs, well, people still had to earn money. So they were actually forced to become boudoir photographers because, everyone's got a superpowered smartphone with a superpowered camera. So kind of the next natural thing, become boudoir photographer. And you're seeing that's going to happen in a much bigger wave over the, as AI takes more and more people's jobs. So not only do you need these slots on Google, you actually need like so many backup links that Google wants to rank on page 1 for you, but there's not enough room. So they're ranking you page 2, 3, and 4. Like basically you need to fortify your positions on page 1 with like so many backup links that no current competing boudoir photographer ever has any chance to rank on page 1, nor any future competing boudoir photographer who came in because AI took their job can ever have a chance of ranking on page 1. and kind of like fortifying your position, kind of like fortifying the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, the lowest, because the city is actually below sea level. And you're seeing SQ methodology is the only thing that can help you fortify your position with so many backup links that are needed. You're also understanding that the SQ methodology, we're building up basically invisible thematic keyword columns around kind of attached to your brand name, business name, website name, social handles names, kind of like this whole, keyword cluster ecosystem in the back end of AI Mindshare. And every day we successfully execute SQ methodology and add to those invisible thematic keyword columns that we're actually increasing the probability we show up here in AI overview, the most premium placement out there that we cannot pay for, and Google can recommend us here. We're also increasing the probability every single day of executing SQ methodology that AI search recommends us. So it's ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, and Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Increased probability showing up in those searches every single day. We successfully execute SQ methodology. And last time I searched for boudoir photographer in the city, it was with ChatGPT and it displayed 3. And I went and manually searched on Google and Facebook, and dude, there were like 60. So you're saying, and I was like, man, we gotta get part of these slots any way possible. So you're actually wanting to all those feature benefits as well as estimated 8x faster growing a large well-known brand, to further insulate yourself from market saturation. And you also understand that my current plan is to work with only one boudoir photographer per city. And as a result, you're seeing you can get all these benefits, and most importantly, build up so much kind of like back-end AI mindshare momentum with all these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to your brand and AI mindshare space, that you are able to build up a gap so large that basically no current competing boudoir photographer can ever reach you, nor any future competing boudoir photographer coming from AI, because AI took their job, can ever catch you. So you decided to be a first mover in your city. Take advantage of this because the converse, where a competing boudoir photographer actually signs on with me first in your same city, means we're going to be kicking you off page 1, maybe even page 2. You'll be resigned to page 3 or deeper. And we'll be fortifying them on page 1, so your chance of getting back up page 1 will be close to 0. And the boudoir photographers come from AI taking their jobs, their normal jobs, and they have become boudoir photographers. That's always going to keep increasing, so it may push you off deeper into further and further pages. And we'll actually be building up a massive gap of AI mindshare, back-end AI mindshare with all these invisible thematic keyword columns that will probably be too large for you to overcome. And for you to overcome that, you'd have to actually rederive SQ methodology by yourself. You'd have to derive it the first time, and you would never feel 100% confident you've derived it correctly the first time. Then you'd have to execute it every single day, same as us. But if you did all that, you'd simply be maintaining the gap, me and your competitor, that large gap, me and your competitor would have already built up against you. So in order to close that gap and kind of pull that invisible thematic keyword column back-end AI mindshare towards you away from us, you'd probably have to double or triple our execution every single day. And it'll be difficult to put in that effort because, again, you're not going to feel 100% confident you've even derived the methodology correctly in the first place. And dude, who even has 80 days to do or 80 hours in a day to do all this stuff? So you're seeing all that and you're like, screw this. I'm actually going to be the first mover in my city, get the advantage, and lock out all my competitors from using this technology. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed. The hospital's not currently accepting new patients. But when our DMs do open, then shoot us a DM and we'll see if you qualify for utilizing S cubed methodology.